those on the path of finding God, I hope you find this video because I hope this could save you a lot of trouble. God is very upfront about a lot of things, right? And one of the things God is the most upfront about is social circles, right? And something that we have to be very aware of on this journey of elevation in your internal world is that you will always be able to tell who somebody is by who they hang around the most, right? I can say this for my own self. I used to hang around losers. I used to hang around a lot of people that had no ambition, had no goals, and were stuck, you know? But we were matching vibrationally. And that's why it's a dead giveaway when you look at someone's social circle, see who is the person that lights the world up. Because that's the person, like they're mirroring each other, you know what I'm saying? Like they're each other. They are each other. That's why they're so stuck with each other, you know? And so when you start elevating, right? And you there's not really a start or a finish, but just for reference, you were at a lower vibration here in this year. 10 years later, you're in a higher vibration. Your social circle is going to change drastically. You're going to be alone for majority of the time, you know, depending on your archetype and the type of person you are. But for me specifically, I spend a lot of time alone, you know, and it's not fun all the time. It's not always good. It's not always bad. It's just kind of what it is. Because my vibration is very specific now, and like you attract people randomly into your life that are on point, you know, they're on point, they're on the same journey as you. And you guys kind of just bump heads, you know, like my coworker, 222 just now. But my coworker, he's 46, I think, around there. He's a father. He's done prison time. He's lived a completely different life from me, but somehow me and him are connected in the heart and mind, you know, and we can have these very deep conversations and then go back to playing around, you know. Like I've never had that type of relationship with someone, you know, where I can just speak what's on my mind, you know, without being like judged or you know, like people try to stick you when they don't understand you, you know. And you know, it's funny, like karmically, I've always been looking for a father figure. I have a father physically in my home, but me and him are not really connected in the heart. We're not really connected in the mind, you know. And so God like sent me a father karmically, you know, someone that's older and wiser and more experienced to kind of lead me, you know, guide me through these harder decisions, you know. And in the same way, I feel a puzzle piece for him because he comes to me and I feed him, you know. And so that's kind of how that works. So yeah, friends, man, friends. It's a complicated topic, you know, because like I was upset yesterday, you know. I was thinking, I was like, I had a girlfriend. I had so many friends in school. I was doing all these activities that I love to do. And now I don't have any of that, you know? And I was kind of upset. I was like, how can I accept where my life is right now, you know? And I kind of just sat back and I've been like processing it for a couple of days, you know? I think a couple months actually, but it's really started coming up recently. But, you know, it's like accepting where I'm at and accepting that I can't do anything about who is put into my life. I can't do anything about what is happening in my life, you know? I can control the little things, like doing my chores or keeping my body fit or eating, cooking, doing everything. But I can't control who I'm gonna run into. I can't control what opportunities are gonna fall into my lap. I can't control finding a guru. You know, I want a teacher. I want somebody to really teach me, you know. I found that online, but I don't know, I have like an urge to find it in real life, you know, like someone to really break it down to me, you know. And yeah, man, just that's kind of what I had to get out. I don't know, like it's already 6 minutes now. It's about to be 6 minutes. That's kind of what I had to get out. What else can I really say on this topic of vibration picking who comes into your life? You can't fake your vibration. That's something that's 100% true. You cannot fake your vibration. You'll always be found out, you know. You can't be in a higher spot than you think you are. You can't be in a lower spot than you think you are either. Because if you're in a lower spot than you think you are, you'll hang out with a bunch of losers and you'll be like, damn, I really don't fit here. Contrary, you hang out with a bunch of people who are not on your level. Instead, they are more advanced in certain ways. And you feel completely lost. Like, you don't even know what's going on. Like, what they're talking about half the time. You feel lost there, too, you know? It's kind of like a third grader trying to talk with a group of high schoolers. Like, it doesn't match. Like that. So, I think that's a good analogy. You got to be where you're at. You know, you got to be where you're at. And I've had trouble recently accepting where I'm at, you know, with my life and everything. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And another thing I want to tell you guys is just because someone is labeled your girlfriend or boyfriend or family, father, mother, doesn't mean that they're going to match your vibration. Doesn't mean that they're going to even understand what you're talking about half the time. They're going to be like completely lost. Like I can tell, like I try to, this is one thing, 7:37 on the clock. Yo, I could try to tell my dad, like, I could like set boundaries. Like, yo, I'm going through some things that I don't really want to talk to you about right now. But if I do open up eventually, like, that's cool. And he takes that as disrespect. He's like, you're in my house still. Like, I should be, you know, it's like that type of, it's like a battle. You know, it's like a battle, but it's like an imaginary battle because his ego is just getting hurt by the fact that I'm me, you know? And that I'm talking to my sister instead of my parents. That's something that I don't really understand, but in the end, it's all ego, you know? Because it's like, these people in my house, my family, they want to have control. They want to be in full autonomy of everything that goes on under this roof, which I understand. It's, you know, it's your house. But there's certain things you can't touch. You know, you can't touch deep issues that someone has. You can't touch deep problems that someone has. You can't touch deep privacy that I need. You can't touch freedom that my sister needs. You just, there's certain things you can't touch. They kind of know that too. They know that, like, spiritually and vibrationally. They don't know it through words, but they know it. Like, they know that if there were certain things that they didn't let us do, this house would just be in turmoil, bro. It just would. And so this balance has to be set. And respect has to be given on both sides, you know? Both the parents and the children. Yeah. Alrighty. I'm about to hit 10 minutes, guys. So I'm gonna get going. I don't really know what I'm gonna name this video yet, but I'm gonna hit a little flex for the end of the video. I hit the gym today. I hit some pull and some push. As you can see, tricep is bumping. All right, I'm out.